Welcome to Franchise Empires.
And for you guys as the franchisor, right? Like, I mean, the units you've sold is super impressive, and the growth is obviously a great signal. But how have you adapted to being able to handle that as far from a support perspective? And for instance, like the last time we spoke, I think it was fall 2022, at least last time we spoke officially on the podcast. Let's say like what practices have changed from when you were 20 to 30 franchisees into now, over 100.
Yeah. So there's some things have stayed the same, things and they've gotten better. And so like what you find is, with good promise of success, you're onboarding new franchisees, 5 to 10 every single month, right? So you're spending the time trying to get new people in, and then you can't forget about the people that just came on. You have to continue to accelerate. So for us, with that type of growth, we've invested in people. We've also invested in a really good group of what we call business success coaches. And we have 5 former franchise owners, some of Soccer Stars, some of the other brands that we own. And so we found that has been a huge part because you have somebody who's in it every single day with you. They help you go sell and market. They help you go through those pain points. So that we found is a really big asset, that you don't have just success coaches that you've hired and never been in. They've been in it. They've lost coaches, hired coaches, and had all different types of opportunities with different locations.
Yeah.
I think I stand on that and say the other thing, we were at an executive meeting. I said, listen, I think one of the things, we have a huge opco that is still significantly bigger than almost all the franchisees combined. And being able to siphon resources off of that to support the franchisees has been a little bit of our secret sauce. And I can't imagine you could support this kind of growth if you didn't have that resource pool to pull from. You also have an incredible amount of capital because, by the way, the franchisor ends up needing more capital to support the growth than they usually expect, right? And so we ran into that same situation. Luckily, we have a very big opco that, is doing very well. That's allowed us to kind of fund the franchisee growth and all the support. And then the biggest thing, which is a never-ending kind of, black hole of opportunity and investment, is on the tech side and supporting everybody with tech. So that's kind of a little bit of another passion project of mine as one of the owners is expanding the tech platform is just an infinite. If I had this, I could move faster. Could I do this? And so every 3 weeks we're launching things. And at the end of the day, if we're being honest, if you keep pushing upgrades to your system, you do cause a little bit of chaos because there's bugs because you're moving so fast, or the learning curve of just teaching everybody. And so one of the other things we recently implemented was an AI, we call it SoccerBot. And SoccerBot has been pretty good early on. Actually, it's been really interesting to watch. So we manage the whole company through Slack, really. That way we can see what's going on. Everybody can see it. There's no hiding here, right? The franchisees are calling you out. We're asking them for things. There's ideas being shared in the channel. There's so many awesome things going on. But sitting here in New York, we're watching the whole worldwide business and everything that's happening. And so what's been cool about that is SoccerBot has allowed us to do 2 things, and it's built off of ChatGPT. One, a lot of the dumb questions that come in of like, where do I find this? It can answer those. It can search things. It can give you links, and it's getting better and better every day. And you can see on a year timeline, it's going to know more than anybody in the company, and the power of that, not just to support franchise owners who have been there a while that know everything, but then their employees, right, that want to come on and learn and train faster. And then phase 2 of that is actually a thing I didn't even expect is everyone is using it now to write emails, write, letters to employees, right? Like they're using it because it knows our business so well. And that's been really, really interesting to watch it. So we see all that kind of playing out. And someday it's got to get to, again, more green time, less screen time. We mean that for the franchisees too. And they're still spending way too much time behind computer screens. We know that. And so if the bot can start answering customer service, I mean, we are doubling, tripling, quadruple down. It's what I spend every Saturday and Sunday morning doing is working on some of this R&D stuff.
And I think the other thing, Patrick, as all those things evolve, we're buying time for ourselves to kind of invest back in business. But there gets a point where you really want the franchisees to talk to the franchisees. And I'd say that's the success point we've really seen, call it over the last 6 to 8 months. Kevin and Chelsea, they were just on a call prior to this, call our Superstars meeting, where they're actually meeting with the top 15 franchisees in our system today. They happen to be very at the top of that list. And they're giving feedback to each other, right? And you really have that hive mind of where we're really fortunate that we have some great franchisees, but the franchisees are in a position now where they can start to teach each other things. And by the way, we learn from them. And so we're taking practices from them and taking it across the system. Or we actually today just had one of our other brands on the call because they had a few things to offer because they're a bit stronger in summer camps. So they pitched in and gave a few ideas. But the biggest thing is our reputational, our personal currency is everything. We can only be as good as what our franchisees tell us and tell everybody in the system and newcomers as well. So we focus so much on that. And I think that's been a really big evolution over the last, call it 16 months that we've had that growth, is now the franchisees are already in a place so early on where they can give back to each other. And you love seeing that you have that culture and that people want to step up and want to do that for franchisees, especially at such an early stage in their growth.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think those are both very good, positive signals from the system. I've seen that in other brands where, the franchisees get to a point of maturity and really just operational know-how that, the knowledge can start spreading quicker through them. And then I also love the AI bot as a tech nerd myself. I think it's a really good use case. And I think I hope a lot of franchisors are out there just funneling their ops manuals and any piece of literature into some AI model to train it up on, like John kind of said, just the basic and easy questions that, maybe don't necessarily need human interaction. So that's super, super cool to hear.